Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Small Talk with Shibby, my LCS post-game interview content. I'm joined by the victorious 100 Thieves Closer. And Closer, I want to get right into it. I think, you as a jungler were previously viewed as a very aggressive jungler, someone that gets stuff done early on the map, right? You play the Lee Sin, the Viego, all this kind of stuff. I think this split has obviously been a little bit disappointing for both you and the 100 Thieves squad as a whole. What do you think about the criticisms and maybe the analysts and pundits and maybe the fans' takes that you have kind of changed as a jungler? Is that due to the meta? Is that due to maybe the mid laner that you're playing with? Previously you played with Bjergsen, now you're playing with Quid. You've had those changes come in. What can you maybe say to some of these criticisms and some of the, sentiments that your playstyle has changed?
Hey, look, I can say a lot of excuses like visa issues, a lot of stuff happened.
Of course.
Like we changed roster, our mid lane was late, all that stuff. But in the end, like all the criticism, all the fans, all the hates, whatever they expect from me and my team, I'm expecting 100,000 times more from myself. So, I'm working hard. I don't know what I can say, honestly. I'm working hard just not only for my own performance, for my team to get better as well, because that's the type of player I am. Like I don't only focus on myself. I try to make others better as well. But definitely this season has been disappointing for me and my team, and we are trying to fix it, man. What can I say?
Of course. And so different teams, maybe define progress a little bit differently. For you as an individual, coming in split to split, obviously you're an LCS champion at one point. You're highly regarded as a very mechanically gifted jungler. Yeah. When it comes to progress and when it comes to kind of hitting these roadblocks, what has worked for you in the past and what are you trying to implement right now as a player, maybe this season, and even what is 100 Thieves trying to implement as a team?
Yeah. I view it as a challenge, I view it as like in life, it happens. Like you're gonna hit the rock bottom. Like you said, I was a LCS champion as well. So, it's a long road. I see it as this moment can break you or make you great again. So that's my focus. My focus is to get better every day, every scrim and every game. And I don't think about it, like all the stats and all that stuff. Like,
of course.
I don't think about stuff like that. I just think about winning, and that's what I'm focused to do.
Yeah, obviously, for you guys to lock in a playoff spot, I believe you have to win, I think, 2 out of the next 4 games. Obviously, previously from this one, obviously, you've had the victory over TSM and you're looking a little bit ahead, right? Obviously, you want to come in and win all of those games, but I think this new schedule that we've had, so far, and the new process of Super Weeks has made it a little bit difficult. Do you kind of feel that strain a little bit, prepping for 3 teams a week, doing that kind of stuff? How have you adjusted to the new Super Week schedule, and do you like it? Do you hate it?
Yeah, everything happens kind of so fast. Like I didn't really know what I'm gonna expect when the week was starting, but like everything happens too quick. You have like 3 days to practice basically. The surprising thing is like our practice has been very, very good, like past couple of weeks. And so that's why it was disappointing for everyone, how we played on stage and how everything happened. But behind the scenes, we are looking good in practice. Like we are looking hopeful, and we like every game we are learning. Even this was a pretty clean game against TSM, like 22 minutes game or something. Like even we're gonna go back and learn some stuff from this game. So I do think like you never know what's gonna happen in the league right now. Like we lost the Immortals. TSM was like having 5-win streak, and then we beat them pretty easily. So I don't know, but in the end, if we make playoffs, I think it's better for us. That's like we're gonna start lower seed and play more games. So because that's what we need, in my opinion, just play more series and get better every game. So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, it seems like you guys aren't right. I think I spoke to Double Lift, I believe, last week. He says you guys are just kind of ramping up for playoffs. You guys have a lot of playoff experience, obviously, with you someday and Double Lift in that bottom lane. Does it kind of feel like for you guys, you're more comfortable in those high pressure situations where, maybe some others view teams like EG, right? A very young team, a team that, maybe is new. They don't maybe have the experience in the playoffs? Do you kind of feel like that's your comfort zone? It's more like, all right, let's make it to the playoffs and then we'll just come in swinging.
That's definitely not the mindset, but I don't know if I'm comfortable, but I don't know. Playoff is like the real playing field for me, because every obviously regular season is important and every game counts, but
Of course.
so far I've been on I feel like every end at this point. Like last year we were trying to make playoffs, we finished like top 4, we start upper bracket. Before seasons I was playing for second place, first place, third place all the time. So at this point I saw it all. I'm not saying we don't care about regular split, but I feel like playoff, when we enter the playoff, I feel like you have the proper time to just prepare for a specific team, and I feel like every game counts. So I don't know, something changes, and I just like playing playoffs.
Can you talk to me more about maybe the differences in between, like you said, preparing playoffs versus preparing for Super Weeks, right? I think the basic gist is that obviously Super Week, you guys are pretty much practicing maybe 1 to 2 compositions that you guys are really, really comfortable on.
Yeah.
This is how you guys want to draft. But when it comes to playoffs, you guys are allowed to scheme against a specific team, right? Are you guys looking to diversify yourself as a play style? Are you guys looking maybe more to anti-strat the enemy team, right? Oh, we're going to ban this out, we're going to take this away from them. How do you guys, or how in your experience, how has it been preparing maybe for regular season games versus, like you said, a playoff opponent?
Yeah, I mean, regular season games, normally you just focus on yourself and try to, like, basically you practice, and then the last day of practice, after the last day of practice is done, you start talking about draft and what you're gonna do about the opportunities. But generally, you are focused on being better as a team, just like becoming better and what you can do for yourself. But when the playoff time comes, you know your opponent, you know who you are playing against, and just you can just focus on how to beat them, basically. But still obviously working on yourself as well. So definitely easier, but I mean both team is gonna do the same thing, right? So it's not like an advantage or anything. But I just like playoffs because it's do or die situation.
You mentioned a little bit earlier, right? That obviously, like you guys, with the Immortals and you guys beat TSM. How do you feel about the overall level of the LCS this split? I talked to Revenge yesterday. He feels like top lane has been the hardest it's been in his life, in his time playing in the LCS. Do you think the teams this split are very, very, or probably the most competitive you've played in? How do you rank it amongst the splits?
It's actually so hard to compare, but I feel like the level we are playing right now is not bad. Like every team is playing good, and the top teams playing pretty good. Like even Team Liquid, I'm really impressed by their like early game and then decision making actually. So they're like, what's their ranking? Like middle of the pack, right?
I
Like
think they, yeah.
towards the top, but still, I do think the level is not bad. I don't know if I can say it's pretty high or anything, because when I watch LPL and LCK, they're different level still. But compared to other seasons, I mean, it's hard to compare, but it's hard. Every season, every split is hard.
Every season is rough. Every team is good out there. A lot of players are very, very good. I do want to maybe pick your brain now that you've had a couple weeks with Quid now as a mid laner, and your mid jungle duo seems to be getting better and better. Is he the kind of mid laner that you kind of enjoy playing with? Somebody that's very, very aggressive, somebody that's very maybe knows what he wants. Like, is that the kind of player that you like playing with? Not to throw any shade at Bjergsen last, but it feels like you're unlocking yourself a little bit more and returning to that, mechanical, first blood king closer the more you're playing with Quid.
I mean, I don't know. Bjergsen was definitely aggressive as well. Like we had a lot of success 2v2. I was feeling like we are very strong when I was playing with him as well. Quid, I think he's mechanically very, very good and very aggressive. He's definitely like he sees blood and then he wants to go for it, And sometimes it's bad and sometimes it's good. He's still very young. I do think he's pretty good at the game, but he is unexperienced, right? Because he's a new player, rookie player. So that's the only thing we need to work on. I enjoy playing with him definitely, because he always goes for like outplays and everything, So it's definitely fun.
Final question here, closer as we are ending up. on the last part of the minute here. How do you feel about the current jungle meta within the LCS? I know every jungler is different. Do you like the current champions in rotation? Are you kind of hoping for a little bit something else? I know you've been on a lot of like Maokai, Wukong, Sejuani. I can see you rolling your eyes a little bit at the current jungle meta. How do you feel? How do you feel?
I feel like right now, current jungle meta, you have to be very good at just playing around your laners, and just you're gonna pick Maokai, you're gonna put some saplings, create vision for the team, and your job is done. I don't know why people talking about like stats and stuff when I play those kind of champions, because I don't see them as aggressive. I just think those champions are there to set up the team, and honestly, that has never been my strong style. Like Sejuani, Maokai, Poppy, stuff like that. I always liked playing more aggressive and more carry style myself. And when we first started the league, I definitely struggled on these champions, and I didn't really know what I need to do. But I'm starting to understand more and more the more I play these champions, and I feel more comfortable every week. So, I mean, I obviously don't like the meta right now in the jungle because of my play style, but I do think I'm getting better at it, and I can be good at this as well.
Thank you so much, Closer. Do you have any final message to the 100 Thieves fans that are watching?
Yeah, I said it in the beginning as well. I'm expecting more from myself and from my team that you guys can even imagine. So, I don't know. I haven't been checking social media that much, so I don't really know if
that's good.
I don't really know what's happening, but we're gonna keep working hard and make it in the end.
Thank you so much, Closer.
Yeah, thank you.